And this one always gets us into all kinds of trouble. There's probably not a maxim that I post. And remember, there's around 200 maxims that Royce, and some, I guess, because Royce stayed up late, repeat themselves. And sometimes we have like maxim number 7, and then we have maxim number 7A and maxim number 7B. But I believe this is the only maxim 15 we have. And it always gets people worked up. And maxim number 15 says, be narcissistic. There is no greater divergence than that between a woman's stated disapproval of male narcissism and the rapidity with which she jumps into bed with a male narcissist. This upsets people, men and women. Guys don't want to, I mean, there's a comment in here, and I'll probably pull it up in a second, but a lot of women, you've got to realize, I mean, again, what is a classic phrase for every divorced woman that you ever speak to? Oh, I was married to a narcissist. He was a narcissist. And the fact is that the more a woman complains about her boyfriends, husbands, a mix of the two, being narcissist, it tells you what she's attracted to. And pretty much every man that, is attractive at some point is going to have some of this in his personality. And it's a key ingredient. Here's another thing is, I will roll this. This is where the guys get all bent out of shape about this. Worst maxim by far. Narcissism isn't arrogance or confidence or even being a jerk sometimes. It's a deep-seated lack of confidence in disgust women. And nothing could be further from the truth. Narcissism is a personality trait. And the big 3, what we call the dark triad, there's 3 personality traits that players, seducers, natural Casanovas have. And they score high on narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And with narcissism, it's not necessarily self-confidence, it's self-centeredness. So, it's not a lack of confidence. In fact, we'll cover this a little bit later this morning, like irrational self-confidence drops women's panties. That, along with narcissism, is a 1-2 punch that, to describe it, narcissism comes from inside. It's a selfishness or a self-centeredness that a man will have. And then the irrational self-confidence is the outward actions and the mental state that he has. And I hope that makes sense to you. And this gentleman should know better. The lovemaker should know better that women, love confidence. So why would they, a deep-seated lack of confidence in disgust women? It doesn't make any sense. Narcissism is self-centeredness, and you won't find narcissism without confidence. You just have to accept one comes with the other. Not all self-confidence has narcissism, but all narcissists will have self-confidence. It is being a jerk. It's part of it. So that's the real deal. And I'll read out the way Chateau approaches it. Is narcissism is an egotistical preoccupation with self. Because of all their experience with maintaining their self-image, men who score high for narcissism will often appear charming, but their narcissism will later lead to extreme difficulty in developing close relationships. So generally, the higher on that scale that you score, and it's a personality test, you can take this for yourself, the harder it is to maintain long-term relationships. Your attractiveness initially over time, and I think as the score goes up, it's harder to maintain longer out there. And then Chateau says narcissistic men will be better at building an attractive identity, crafting an alluring image, dressing themselves for maximum impact, and comporting themselves with the utmost self-regard. Women love all these characteristics in men, even if these traits are not societally beneficial in numbers exceeding a tiny percentage of men. A man who is full of himself is a man who is full of a woman's love. And this is accurate. You know, guys that are self-centered, somewhat selfish, and they are their point of origin are attractive to women. These things can hurt them down the road, but as far as initial attraction, it's about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. So you have to accept that. And that's just part of what this is. But a key of being attractive is having some narcissistic personality traits. And you can fake it till you make it. And you just, as we always say, I mean, the more, if you sit down with a girl, again, they're going to tell you what they like. They, as some of these guys say, they always out themselves. If they say, every guy I date ends up in jail. Every guy I date is an alcoholic. She's telling you what she's attracted to because that's all she dates. She dates alcoholics. She loves the excitement, the ups and downs, the roller coaster. And so just know when she's telling you what she doesn't like or what she's always dealt with, and she doesn't want to deal with it anymore, it tells you what you're going to have to at least show on the surface to be attractive to her. So maxim number 15, be narcissistic. There is no greater divergence than that between a woman's stated disapproval of male narcissism and the rapidity which she jumps into bed with a male narcissist. And that's the real deal. And the more you cultivate this and the more you see it in action, the more you will become a true believer that, again, there's really no question that it's a defining personality trait hardwired into seducers. And that's just the way it is. And along with two other primary traits. And that's just the way it is. Some people, it's just like being a natural at sports. They're going to have, better eye-hand coordination, more muscle, just the right genetics. And narcissism is a genetic component of being attractive and a seducer and, just being attractive to the opposite sex. So let's get to the next one. I think I beat that one to death. It took 10 minutes.